Hey, what's up there, YouTubers? It's me again, Brian, aka Gamer55551, and I am back with a My 2 Cent video for this week, for the week of September 19th to the 25th, though. No video game review for this week and all. Not really doing one for this week, though. I am working on a review on maybe one or two games, though, but no review for this week. And last but not least, I do want to quickly talk about is the fact that I'm sure some who have been on YouTube have heard some of the drama between Dreamcast guy and Austin Evans and all that stuff. It had to do with the whole discovery of the new heatsink in the PS5 and all. And honestly, I think the whole drama is just blowing way out of proportion, at least from the way I see it, though. And regardless of whether you got a PS5 or you got the one with the new heatsink or not, to me, I look at it as that as long as there's nothing blocking the heatsink, you should be okay with it. Same with, the Nintendo Switch, same with the Xbox Series S and X, and I'm pretty sure, though I'm not a PC expert, same with if you have a PC setup and all that. So I think this whole, whatever this issue between Dreamcast guy and Austin Evans is, it's to me, I think it sounds stupid altogether. But anyway, we got 4 stories to cover, including the was rumored but happened this week, though. The Nintendo Direct actually happened, so we finally got to see what Nintendo had to show for this Direct, though, and I thought it was certainly not a bad Direct indeed. THQ Nordic had their Direct by the 10th anniversary showcase, and they showed a lot of games, though I will say Switch owners might be somewhat disappointed with this one, though. We're also going to be talking about a rumor about Microsoft maybe acquiring another acquisition of another company on the same level as what we saw last year with Bethesda. And of course, we have the NPD that has been recently released, though. If you're interested in what I'm talking about or where I got my information on some of these stories, though, all the links will be in the description down below, assuming you're watching this on YouTube. But before we get started, though, we'll do what I like to call the quick My 2 Cents, stories that kind of caught my attention, but I'm not going to go into a huge amount of details or anything like that. The first one is that apparently Sega has revealed their new RPG, but it turns out to be that it's for mobile devices, smartphones, tablets, and all, and it got downvoted very quickly and all. But the one bright spot is that it seems to be not on existing IP, it seems to be a brand new game, but still, I can see why not everybody is a fan of this approach that Sega is taking, though. We also learned that Yuji Naka has apparently not retired from game development following the flop that was Balan Wonderworld, and apparently he is working on a indie game developing for mobile using the Unity engine, though. It's really kind of sad what happened to him, though, especially after the disaster that was Balan Wonderworld, though. We'll see if this mobile game becomes a success or not, but it's really unfortunate how the situation for him has really gone downhill and all. But I wish him best of luck on whatever he is developing for mobile devices, though. We also learned that Dragon Quest 12 is being co-developed by Hexadrive and Orca, ORCA, though. Some of these developers are the same ones that worked on, I believe, also helped with the Wii U port of The Legend of Zelda Wind Waker, though. Does that mean that Dragon Quest 12 is coming to the Nintendo Switch or the Nintendo device, though? It's unclear at this time, though. Only thing we know right now, the game is still ways off, and we know it's being developed using the Unreal Engine 5, though, and we know that Unreal Engine 5 does support the Nintendo Switch, although there has to be some adjustments and changes, though. Again, we don't know if it's coming to the Switch or not. My fingers are crossed and hope that it does, but time will ultimately tell. We also learned that Bandai Namco has filed a trademark that has been found in Japan based off of their Kelowna, Klona series. It's their platforming mascot, though. I remember it was originally released back during the PlayStation era, but the game, there has been some ports of it onto the Game Boy Advance, to even one on the Wii back then, though. So it's possible they could be bringing this mascot back, but time will ultimately tell, though. We also learned that Disney has now updated their classic collection games. This time now has the Super NES version of Aladdin, along with all versions of the Jungle Book, though. It has been reported that those who already own the Lion King and Aladdin version can update to the other version for, I think, like $9 or something, or actually not $9, $10 to be exact, though. So it's a little iffy. Some people may or may not like this, though, but it's nice that they got the Super Nintendo version of Aladdin in it. Although I do wonder if there were certain issues, considering that Capcom developed the Super Nintendo version compared to Virgin Interactive that developed the one for the Sega Genesis and all. We also learned that there was a rating found in Brazil that Alan Wake Remastered will be coming to the Nintendo Switch. Again, no official confirmation if that is true or not, though. And if it is true, assuming the Alan Wake Remastered for the Nintendo Switch does turn out to be true, it's unclear if it's going to be running natively on the Nintendo Switch, or is it going to be the cloud version like we saw with Control that came to Nintendo Switch via the cloud version, to be exact. So unclear about that one at this time. We'll have to wait and see if a Switch version does happen. We know it's coming to the PS5 and the Xbox Series S and X, and I believe PC as well. We also learned that basically Dying Light for the Nintendo Switch will feature motion controls, though, and during the Nintendo Direct, we learned that I believe will be coming out October 19th. I'll have to double check that, though. I believe the pre-orders will start with that game. I think that starts today, though. We also learned that the Forgotten City, a sort of what started out as a mod for the Elder Scrolls Skyrim, is now available on the Nintendo Switch today. The bad news, however, is the fact that this is based off the cloud version, and I know some people may or may not agree with this approach indeed, though, so you'll have to weigh in whether it's worth playing the cloud version on the Nintendo Switch, or if it's better just getting a different version instead. And last but not least, it is basically been reported by a well-known Nintendo, or insider in a way, Emily Roger, is reporting that apparently that Nintendo may have scratched the idea of a Metroid Prime trilogy for the Switch, and instead is planning to remake the first Metroid Prime game, though, which would be kind of interesting because there has been previous reports indicating that Metroid Prime trilogy for the Switch is already done, and they're just waiting for Nintendo to give the go-ahead to release it, though. Now, again, we don't know if this is true or not. Emily Roger has a history of getting things right or wrong, so I would take this information with a grain of salt. That said, though, I'm kind of torn between the idea of a remake of the first Metroid Prime, which I wouldn't be against, but at the same time, I would prefer the Metroid Prime trilogy in one cartridge, if that's possible, for the Nintendo Switch. So I'm kind of mixed on this one, assuming this rumor is true or not, though. Okay, with the quick My 2 Cent part now done, we'll get started with our first story, and this one has to do with the NPD, though. So basically last week, the NPD released their charts of what games did very well and all, and I would say, as far as August goes, it's not really I wouldn't go as far as call it something that surprised us or anything like that. Some of this seemed a little bit kind of obvious. At least that's how I see it, though. But anyway, if I can get it out, okay, there. In the article from VentureBeat, it points out that Ghost of Tsushima returns to the dominant August game sale. Obviously, they're referring to the director's cut. But anyway, according to them, in terms of the top 20 best-selling games in the United States, though, they have it. Here's what they have: Madden NFL 22 at number 1, Ghost of Tsushima at number 2. Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War at number 3, Humankind at number 4, Marvel Spider-Man Miles Morales at number 5, Mario Kart 8 at number 6, Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword at number 7, Minecraft at number 8, Assassin's Creed Valhalla at number 9, MLB The Show 21 at number 10, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate at number 11, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2019 at number 12, Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart at number 13, Animal Crossing New Horizon at number 14, Pokemon Sword and Shield at number 15, Mortal Kombat 11 at number 16, Super Mario 3D World at number 17, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild at number 18, Mario Golf Super Rush at number 19, and Super Mario Party at number 20, though. over in terms of the top best-selling games so far this year. They have Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War at number 1, MLB The Show 21 at number 2, Resident Evil Village at number 3, Madden NFL 22 at number 4, Super Mario 3D World at number 5, Marvel Spider-Man Miles Morales at number 6, Mario Kart 8 at number 7, Monster Hunter Rise at number 8, Minecraft at number 9, and Assassin's Creed Valhalla at number 10, though. In terms of top best-selling games of the last 12 months, they have Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War at number 1, Assassin's Creed Valhalla at number 2, Madden NFL 21 at number 3, Marvel Spider-Man Miles Morales at number 4, Super Mario 3D All-Stars at number 5, NBA 2K21 at number 6, Marvel's Avengers at number 7, Animal Crossing New Horizons at number 8, Mario Kart 8 at number 9, and FIFA 21 at number 10. In terms of the top best-selling Nintendo games in the US, outside of pretty much Minecraft being at number 10 as the third-party game, everything else is first-party. As we have Mario Kart 8 at number 1, Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword at number 2, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate at number 3, Animal Crossing New Horizons at number 4, Pokemon Sword and Shield at number 5, Super Mario 3D World at number 6, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild at number 7, Mario Golf Super Rush at number 8, and Super Mario Party at number 9. As I mentioned, Minecraft is at number 10. In terms of best-selling PlayStation games for August 2021, though, they have Madden NFL 22 at number 1, Ghost of Tsushima at number 2, Marvel Spider-Man Miles Morales at number 3, Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War at number 4, Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart at number 5, MLB The Show 21 at number 6, Assassin's Creed Valhalla at number 7, Minecraft at number 8, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2019 at number 9, and The Last of Us Part 2 at number 10. Over on to the Xbox platform, they have Madden NFL 22 at number 1, Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War at number 2, Assassin's Creed Valhalla at number 3, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2019 at number 4, Fight Simulator 2020 at number 5, It Takes Two at number 6, Forza Horizon 4 at number 7, Marvel's Avenger at number 8, Minecraft at number 9, and finally Mortal Kombat 11 at number 10. So obviously nothing really surprising about August in any way, though. In terms of the best-selling games, though, I mean, Madden, love it or hate it, though, it doesn't seem to have stopped the game from doing very well. Ghost of Tsushima, it's sort of interesting that one's doing well, considering that we've got the director's cut, and it seems that Call of Duty, despite the ongoing controversy that basically Activision is facing right now, though, it seems that hasn't stopped the games from continuing to do very well at all or anything like that. And Nintendo games continue to do very well too, including Pokemon Sword and Shield, though. So overall, I would say nothing really surprising about this one compared to, say, like July, when we saw Neo: The World Ends With You making onto that list as well. So, or Monster Hunter Stories 2 or anything like that. So nothing really, anything that sort of surprised me or anything like that. It's just the usual suspect to me. So nothing shocking at all. But again, that's how I'm viewing August 2021's NPDs. Okay, we're going to take a quick break. When we get back, we'll get to part 2, and this one has to do with reports coming out that Microsoft might be preparing for another Bethesda-style acquisition and all. So we'll take a quick break, and we will be right back. Okay, and we are back with part 2 of our My 2 Cent video, and for this one, we're going to be talking about a interesting rumor that has started to pop up, though, in regarding the possibility that Microsoft could be buying another studio. Now, 1 year ago, though, Microsoft surprised a lot of people before the launch of the Xbox Series S and X, and one of that was that they acquired Bethesda, or shall we say ZeniMax, the studio that owns Bethesda, which has published some beloved IPs and games out there, ranging from Dishonor, Elder Scrolls, Fallout, Prey, Evil Within, and so forth, though. Although they've had their shares of controversies as well. Maybe not on the level as what we're seeing with Activision Blizzard right now, but still, excuse me, they have their own share of controversies, though. But either way, this shocked a lot of folks out there and surprised a lot of people. The idea that Microsoft would acquire this studio, and the fact that they were willing to pay around like $7 billion to own the studio is pretty amazing, to be exact, though. And that sort of for some people, that wasn't happy because of the fact that some of these games are now locked to one system, or shall we say anything where Game Pass is available. But others welcome this, though, that believes that it could attract people to buy, get into Game Pass or get an Xbox Series X and S, though. So it was definitely a big announcement, though. It's certainly more than, say, Sony buying Insomniac or Nintendo buying Next Level Games and all. I'm not saying that those companies buying those studios are necessarily bad, but it's nowhere near the level that Microsoft did when they purchased Bethesda and all. Well, now it appears to be, though, that Microsoft, shall we say, may be making a move to acquire another studio. And if these rumors are true, and again, these are just rumors to be exact, it could be maybe on the same level as Bethesda, possibly more. In an article posted on by Game Rant, it reads, "Rumor: Microsoft might be preparing another Bethesda level acquisition." Though, here's what the rumor had to say. Quote, "A new rumor indicates Microsoft may be preparing a big Bethesda level acquisition that would have internet lawyers debating monopoly laws. Needless to say, the Microsoft acquisition of Bethesda is still rocking the industry. Despite Starfield being confirmed as an Xbox exclusive and the Elder Scrolls 6 likely all but confirmed to be, fans keep debating everything that comes out of Bethesda. This isn't likely going anywhere soon, especially with all the studios under Bethesda's umbrella, but Microsoft isn't stopping with Bethesda. It's a matter of when, not if, Microsoft acquires another name for its Xbox game studios. In fact, there have been several rumors thus far of Microsoft working on a new deal, and it's been acquisition season. Sony has acquired a few studios over the past few months, but Microsoft has been oddly quiet, and that may be according to a new rumor because Microsoft is going big again. Skull, SKULLZI, a gaming news YouTuber, recently tweeted that he had heard a crazy rumors about a potential forthcoming acquisition. He went on to imply the online reaction would be huge, possibly even contested, as he predicted, a lot of internet lawyers debating monopoly laws at some point in the near future. This is a post from Reddit that points out all this stuff. It basically puts out some of the response to it, saying, quote, "I have no clue who the hell this guy is, but he has a smaller gaming news related channel, and he claims, I heard some crazy rumors regarding another huge potential Microsoft acquisition. I don't want to say any specific, as I don't even know if all this is true, but damn." He also followed up with a few more tweets saying, "I predict a lot of internet lawyers debating Microsoft's law at some point in the near future. There is probably going to be some fake leaks and clickbaits based off these fake leaks regarding the potential new Microsoft acquisition. Don't believe anything unless it's an official source regarding the specific topic. Hard to say what is true. ATM outside looking into it, though." The Game Rant article continues on by saying, "Some Xbox fans have taken a look at SKULLZI's tweet, which has been live for a matter of hours, and connected to some other tweets from important Xbox community members and other notable reporters. For example, in a now deleted but captured for propriety tweet from Xbox social media manager Stein, STEIN, he implied that his mind is blown with a fund.gif after leaving work meeting. This and a couple others have been made in the past few days. Notably, however, there is no evidence, and everything about any new Microsoft acquisition should be taken with a grain of salt until it's confirmed by the company. It has acquired a lot of talents in recent years, excuse me, and it's likely the full strength of its acquisition will come to the fore over the next couple of years, and at the top doesn't seem impossible. Of course, the big question on everyone's mind, assuming this rumor is true, is just what Microsoft is requiring. Rumors suggest that it's a juggernaut in the gaming space. Some have pointed to Rockstar Games' parent company, Take-Two Interactive, which is only fan speculation at this time, but it would indeed rival Bethesda acquisition. Again, right now it is just rumor and speculation, but once upon a time, no one would have ever thought Bethesda would be acquired, so anything goes when it comes to Microsoft's acquisition. Obviously, this is coming from one person, so I think it's important that we be very careful about this information, though. So it is probably worth taking this with a grain of salt. That said, though, I can't rule out the possibility that basically Microsoft could be acquiring another studio. I mean, we've seen them spend money on buying studios like Double Fine to Ninja Theories to a whole lot of studios they've purchased. And the Bethesda one was pretty shocking indeed when Microsoft announced that they had purchased Bethesda last year. I mean, could they spend money on, say, something like buying Take-Two Interactive? It's possible. I can't say it's going to be true, but it is possible, and that could have a major impact, though, especially when you have games like the rumored Grand Theft Auto 6, which if say Microsoft were to go through and purchase Take-Two Interactive, could confine that to only on the Xbox Series S and X, PC, or VI Game Pass. That could have some impact, indeed. But at the same time, though, supposedly, from what I've been hearing, if Microsoft were to do that, they would have to spend a lot more money to purchase Take-Two than it was with with Bethesda, because from the amount of money they would have to spend, it would certainly be a lot. Another thing that's kind of concerning, if assuming this rumor is true, is that if it is true and Microsoft goes through and buys a big studio like Take-Two Interactive, I'm wondering if this will open the door to the possibility of them being called upon in terms of raising the issue of monopolizing it to the point that there is no real competition at all. Remember, Microsoft did get in trouble back during the 90s over their Windows, over that monopolizing and not having any real competition or anything like that. Now, as I said before, I get the fact that Phil Spencer wants to make the Xbox Series S and X and want to put Xbox in a better position than it was during the Xbox One era. I don't disagree with that. After all, a company like Nintendo had to learn from the mistakes with the Wii U in order for the Nintendo Switch to be an actual success, though. But I don't, at the same time, cannot ignore the fact that it could raise the whole issue of the whole monopoly issue, and it could put Microsoft in a very tough spot, assuming this rumor is true and all, whether or not they're buying a bigger, next company is going to be on the same level as Bethesda, possibly if it's Take-Two Interactive or not. So overall, it is a rumor. It is coming from one person, so I would be very careful with this rumor, though. But given how Microsoft was willing to spend $7 billion to purchase ZeniMax and get, along with Bethesda and all, it's not out of the realm of possibility that Microsoft can pull something else like this. Like it is possible they could pull another Bethesda and all. The question is, how much money are they willing to spend to acquire this next studio? Are they willing to spend more than what they did with Bethesda, or are they willing to spend less? And it does, and like I said, it does make you kind of wonder, could this bring up the whole monopoly issue and all? So that's certainly would be interesting if this rumor that we're hearing does happen or not. Okay, we're going to take a quick break, and when we get back, we'll get to part 3, and this one has to do with THQ Nordic hosting their 10th anniversary showcase. So we'll take a quick break, and we will be right back. Okay. Okay, and we are back with part 3 of our My 2 Cent video, and for this one, we're going to be taking a look at THQ Nordic, particularly having their 10th anniversary showcase. Now, THQ Nordic and THQ is sort of has an interesting history though. Originally, THQ I think went bankrupt like a decade ago and all that stuff. This happened following the release of Darksiders 2 and all, but then was revised by Nordic and came under the new name under THQ Nordic. And since then, they have been buying up studios, or at least trying to get back the rights of some of the games that they have lost though, and even buying up rights to games they never owned but now under the new banner, like Kingdom of Amalur: Re-Reckoning. I'm glad that game has been brought back, that as well, to even the release of SpongeBob SquarePants Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated, which, while I haven't played the game myself, I won't go as far as it will give Mario its run for its money, but I will say I can see why people like that game, and it's certainly one of the better licensed games out there, to be exact though. Well, recently they had their showcase and all. I didn't get a chance to watch it, but I did get a chance to read up what they had to show. And I will say some of the games they showed weren't as bad, but a lot of it will depend on what platform or what your main platform is though. So in terms of what they showed off, alright, there we go. So in terms of what they showed off though, the games they had showed off were Destroy All Humans 2 Reprobed, which, interesting enough, that was leaked out before the 10th anniversary showcase though. Outcast 2 A New Beginning, Expectations Rome, MX vs ATV Legends, Superpower 3, ELEX 2, which is made by the same studio that did Risen though, Jagged Alliance 3, and SpongeBob SquarePants The Cosmic Shake though. They also ended it with basically revealing that they have 42 games that are still in development. And after the new reveals, they also said that there's still 28 games that are still unannounced. So they have a lot of games and all. As far as what was announced though, I would say for me the ones that kind of sticked out the most were Destroy All Humans 2 Reprobe, and I will say SpongeBob SquarePants The Cosmic Shake though. Having enjoyed the Destroy All Human reboot, especially on the Nintendo Switch and all, I'm definitely curious about those two. The other ones I haven't heard much about, but I will say Outcast, since this is supposedly is a sequel to a long dormant one series though. I mean, that one looks kind of interesting. I'll keep my eyes on that one. ELEX 2 looks kind of interesting though, but I have to see some gameplay on that one though. MX vs ATV Legends, I'm not a huge racing fan, but I certainly will keep an eye on that. But I would say most of the games that they announced were, I would say if you're big on the PC side of things, this one probably appealed to you more, especially with games like Expectation Rome, if I'm saying the name correctly though, Superpower 3 and Jagged Alliance 3, since according to what I've been hearing, those are going to be particularly for PC, while all the other ones are basically for current or next-gen consoles. One system obviously is getting the short end of the stick is basically the Nintendo Switch, as SpongeBob SquarePants The Cosmic Shake is probably the only game out of all of them that are coming to the Nintendo Switch. That said though, I wouldn't rule out one game that I think could make its way over to the Nintendo Switch. I'm not saying it's going to, but I think it could, and that is Destroy All Humans 2 Reprobe. I think that there is a good chance we may see that one come to the Nintendo Switch, since the Destroy All Human remake made its way over to the Nintendo Switch though. I have a feeling that there is a very good chance that one, Destroy All Humans 2 remake, could ultimately make its way over to the Nintendo Switch. It's possible it might be out next year, like we saw with Destroy All Humans, and like how we saw with Kingdom of Amalur Re-Reckoning though. But again, I'm just speculating at this time, so I don't really know 100% though. But if I had to guess, out of all the games they showed at this showcase, which other one outside of SpongeBob that I think could make its way over to the Nintendo Switch, I would say Destroy All Humans 2. But I will say, out of all the games they showed, I think the Switch obviously got the short end of the stick, as basically this one was aimed more towards those who own the current gen, PS4, PS5, Xbox Series X1 or Xbox Series XX, or the PC though. So, but I will say what they had to show was it was all right. I mean, what I read based on what they had to show was all right. I think the SpongeBob Destroyer Humans were the one that caught my interest. The RPG from Piranha Bytes looks interesting, but I have to see some gameplay. And Aulx 2, I never played the original one, but hearing about this one, I believe it could be available on other systems like Xbox Series S and X and PS4, PS5. That one I probably will keep an eye on it. But overall, I mean, for what I've read, it certainly wasn't bad. And the fact that they have a whole lot of games in development, it would be interesting to see when those games will announce, though, and whether or not any of those games will, in any shape or form, make their way over to the Nintendo Switch. Okay, we're going to take a quick break, and when we get back, we'll get to our fourth and final part of our My 2 Cent video, and this one has to do with the long-rumored Nintendo Direct that had happened this week, though. And I will say that this Direct was somewhat surprising, and it was good, at least in my book, though. So we'll take a quick break, and we will be right back. Okay, and we are back with our fourth and final part of our My 2 Cent video, and for this one, we're going to be talking about the latest Nintendo Direct that happened this week. Now, for a while, though, there were rumors going around that Nintendo was going to be hosting a Nintendo Direct in September, though. And a lot of people were expecting it because around this time, Nintendo usually does a Direct around September and all that stuff. So a lot of people were wondering when or if Nintendo was going to do the Direct. There were rumors of what games may show up at the Direct and all that stuff. There were even people who were leaking out before the Direct went live and all, although I'm a little cautious about anytime someone leaks or anything like that. But in either case, though, we finally had it, though. And I will say this Direct, I would say was maybe not as good as, say, Nintendo's E3 presentation this year, but it was definitely a good Direct with some interesting announcements, even some that were kind of surprising. And the way they ended, though, finally reassured fans have been waiting a long time to see if this game was canceled or not. And I'm sure most of you know what I am referring to. So, in any case, what they showed off during the Direct, though, some of the games they had were basically... let me see. Okay, basically some of the surprises they had was that Nintendo Switch Online will be getting an expansion pack. This will include N64 and Genesis games, and on top of that, though, they'll be selling the controllers, the Genesis controller and N64 controllers for Switch Online members. So the launch lineup for N64 games as part of Switch's Online are Super Mario 64, Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, Mario Kart 64, Star Fox 64, Sin and Punishment, that's interesting they added that in, Dr. Mario 64, Mario Tennis 64, Win Back, that's kind of a bit of a left field right there, and Yoshi's Story. In terms of upcoming games that they plan to bring to the N64 game lineups, we have Banjo-Kazooie, Pokemon Snap, Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask, my second favorite Zelda game of all time, Kirby 64, The Crystal Shared, Mario Golf, Paper Mario, the first Paper Mario though, and F-Zero X. In terms of the launch lineup of Sega Genesis games though, they'll have Sonic the Hedgehog 2, Streets of Rage 2, Echo the Dolphin, Castlevania Bloodline, Contra Hard Corps, Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine, Golden Axe, Gunstar Hero, MUSHA, Fantasy, one of the Fantasy Stars. I don't know the number. I'm not really great with Roman numerals though. Rin Star, Shining Forces, Shinobi 3, Return of the Ninja Master, and Strider. So, not a bad choice for N64 and Sega Genesis games coming to the Nintendo Switch, which certainly is. nice though. Basically, it'll be interesting to see how much this expansion packs thing is going to cost though. They'll say they're going to talk more about it in October though. I'm happy to see that Sin and Punishment is coming as part of this lineup though, and I would like to see Nintendo bring more of maybe Japanese N64 games that never saw the light of day here in the West. I would like to see that happen though. I think they did a little bit of that on the NES and the Super NES Nintendo Switch Online service, but I would like to see more of those games that never saw the light of day here in the West though. Same with the Sega Genesis one. If they could do those, that would be great. As far as other games that they announced Kirby's The Forgotten Land. That kind of was a bit of a surprise though, and basically a 3D open world Kirby game, and especially the setting, it was like, wow, this my immediate reaction was like, this is like a cuter version of The Last of Us in a certain degree. So it certainly is very interesting. Basically, the approach they're going with Kirby though, this won't be out in spring 2022, so that certainly is nice. That certainly is nice though. Monster Hunter Rise will be getting an expansion, a paid DLC expansion. Basically will be out in summer 2022 though, so that certainly will have to be waiting a while, but it's nice that it's getting a big expansion. I'm hoping Monster Hunter Stories 2 Wings of Ruins gets a similar one, same with Monster Hunter Rise though. Obviously I think those games are doing great though. We also saw more of Splatoon 3 though, a little bit of the single player, a little bit of the multiplayer though. It's the game is set to come out next year though. I'm kind of surprised that they announced the Splatoon 3. I thought Splatoon 2 would ride out most of like Switch's or the Nintendo Switch's lifetime, but obviously they're doing the Splatoon 3. That one is that one's kind of interesting though. Voice of Car, The Island of Dragon Wars. This one looks kind of interesting though, and what makes it even more interesting, it's made by the same person I believe who did basically, if I'm saying this correctly though, and apologize if I'm not though, it's the same person who did, Nier Automata and Nier Replicant, that's going to be very interesting to see how this game plays out, as it basically it's an RPG through like cards and turn-based and all that stuff. It kind of reminds me a little bit of like a Dungeons and Dragons to a certain degree, so I'm very curious about this one though. Supposedly it will be out on October 28th, but there is a demo available so people can try that out. Square Enix also showed off a Chocobo GP, which basically is going to be out next year. It's sort of like their take on Mario Kart to a certain degree though. It does offer both online and offline, which is certainly nice. We now know that Project Triangle Strategy is called Triangle Strategy though. Basically, they took the same approach with the name with Octopath Traveler, but in either case, though, they have based their game off the serve rate that happens. It will have the ability to adjust the difficulty, camera controls, and so forth. The game comes out March 4th, 2022, next year, though. That one I'll definitely keep an eye out, since it's using the same visuals that made one of my favorite RPGs on the Nintendo Switch, Octopath Traveler. Authorized Residence though, this one was also a bit of a surprise that it was announced though that for the Nintendo Switch and available right now to download. It's basically an HD remaster of the original one released back on the Super Nintendo, so very interesting Square Enix to bring this one back though. This one, Dying Light Stay Human though, I'm mixed on this announcement for two reasons. For one reason though, alright? I think that on one hand, I think it's sort of surprising that Dying Light 2 is coming to the Nintendo Switch, and I think that's great, considering that I remember hearing a while back how they said that they had no plans to bring it to the Nintendo Switch, but it said they brought Carl Juarez Gunslinger over instead though. The one downside with Dying Light 2 coming to the Nintendo Switch is that it's the cloud version, and unfortunately, again, like with Control and Hitman 3 that were on the Nintendo Switch via cloud, that response might be mixed for some folks, and not everyone may be happy with the idea that it's the cloud version and all that though. However, Dying Light, the first one, Platinum Edition, is coming to the Nintendo Switch on October 19th, and apparently this isn't the cloud version or anything like that. So great that Dying Light 2 is coming to the Nintendo Switch, but kind of not so great the fact that it's going to be the cloud version, though. We also saw an expansion for Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity. Expansion DLC will be out October 29th. We know that Super Smash Bros. Ultimate will get the final fighter that will be revealed on October 5th, though, which something tells me I wouldn't be surprised if people are disappointed that it did not be the fighter that they wanted to be. They announced Mario Party Superstar that will be released on October 29th. The game, I believe, can be played both online and offline as well. A free update. Where we go? Okay, yeah. Mario Kart Super Rush got a free update though, so that certainly is nice. Disco Elysium, the final cut, will be available on Nintendo Switch though. On October 12th. There is plans for a physical version, but that won't be out until early 2022. Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic is coming to Nintendo Switch, but this one is based off the version I think released back, on the original Xbox, not the remake that's being worked on right now though. Castlevania Advanced Collection is officially a thing though, so that one certainly is nice. It brings Circle of the Moon, Harmony Dissonant, Sorrow, and Castlevania Dracula X though. It comes out right now though, although I supposedly have been hearing that PlayAsia will have a physical version though. Yeah, Disney Magic World 2 Enchanted Edition, that's not my type of thing. That's aimed for another age group and all. Shadowrun Trilogy, though, of 3-game collection of the Cold Classic RPG. It will be launching next year. They show off quick clips of Shin Megami Tensei 5, which will be out November 12th, Rune Factory 5, which will be out March 22nd, and Arcade Archives Pac-Man, which is the two classic Namco games, are available later today, though. But obviously the big one, I think this is probably the biggest one, they ended it by showing Bayonetta 3, the game that a lot of us have been waiting to see if the game was alive or not, and we saw basically gameplay clips of it though, and a cutscene, and it looks good. This is definitely one of the games I'm looking forward to. Supposedly it will be out next year, which is great indeed though, to get the complete trilogy, at least the the current trilogy, all on the Nintendo Switch at all. Bayonetta is definitely a fun game though. It's right next to, say, the first Devil May Cry and all, and it's definitely nice to see the game is alive as well. I like how they kind of did a parody to it with it, how you saw Lappy from Astro Chain in there, and well, obviously it's not Astro Chain 2, though I would like to see an Astro Chain 2 happen though. But it's great to see that Platinum and Nintendo are still working together, and Bayonetta 3 is alive. So a great way to end the Nintendo Direct indeed though. So overall, my takeaway from the Nintendo Direct is that I thought it was good. I won't go as far as say, like I said earlier, that it overtook Nintendo's E3 presentation, but I didn't think it was bad either. There were some neat announcements and all. Some games like Dying Light 2, great that it's coming to the Switch, but it's the cloud version that might not sit well with everyone, to be exact though. So that wasn't great though, but some interesting surprises like the open world Kirby game and all, and a great way to end the presentation by finally showing us Bayonetta 3. So I would say this was a good presentation, not mind-blowing, but I will say I did enjoy it indeed. Okay, this concludes this My 2 Cent video for this week, and again, these are my opinion. What are yours? What are your thoughts about the NPD this week? Were there any games you thought that was surprising, or you thought that there wasn't really anything shocking to see something like, say, Madden NFL 2022 get to the #1 spot or anything like that? What are your thoughts about the rumors about the possibility that Microsoft could be acquiring another studio? Do you think it is possible? Do you think Microsoft will buy another studio? Do you think it will be on the same level of, say, like it was with Bethesda when they purchased them last year? Do you think it could be? Do you think they'll would be willing to pay more than what they did to buy Bethesda in any way? And do you think this could raise the questions about the possibility of whole issue of them monopolizing to the point that there is no competition at all? What are your thoughts about the THQ Nordic 10th anniversary showcase, though? Did you get a chance to watch it, though? Were you happy with some of the games that they have announced, though? Are you looking for any of the games in particular in any way, though? And what about the Nintendo Direct? Did you watch the Nintendo Direct as well? Did you enjoy what they showed, though? Were there any games that were surprising in any way? And were you pleased with what they showed in regards of with Bayonetta 3? Were you happy with what they finally showed for that game, though? Did you like what you see? Or did you like this video? Did you not like this video? Do you have a difference of opinion, though? As always, sound off on the comment section below. Let me know what you think. And if you do like this video, though, and that means if you do, I hope you hit the like button. I would appreciate it. And I hope you do subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you do, make sure you hit the bell icon for notification for any new videos I put up. Also, feel free to share this video if you want to, and feel free to donate to my channel if you like. You can do it through PayPal me or Patreon. Links will be in the description of this video, assuming you're watching this on YouTube. And I will see you again next time when I do another video. Hopefully that'll be soon. Until then, from Southern California, I wish you all a good day then. Bye!